Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
It's 3 places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to play a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy Wednesday. Happy hump day as you're sliding into your weekend. Good morning, all that are attending the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. We started a few minutes early. It's not even quite 6:30 yet. But look at this. Isn't that so cute? I get a message through Messenger last night and said, did you by chance get anything? I'm like, I don't think so. So I walked to the door and sure enough, there is a package outside of the front door. And so I go to open it, and it had 3 bags of hot cocoa and a box in it. And I pull the box out. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? But it's not even that. It's what's on the back of this. Coffee is always better with you and the coffee club. Bullhorn Betty and B Betty fan. Thank you, B Betty fan. This thing holds like a gallon of freaking coffee. This is this is crazy. This thing's about as big as my head. I love it. So I'm drinking, and it's keeping my coffee warm. Like, I'm already 3/4 of a way down, and my coffee, I can feel the coffee cup. The coffee cup is still warm. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. B Betty fan, she says, coffee is always better with you and the coffee club, each and every one of you that attend every morning. So there you go. We love B Betty fan. Brightens up our day. Just a sweet, sweet soul. Good morning, Mike Steven. Crazy Cat Stevens. If I can say my S's today. Crazy Cat Lady. Good morning. Steph, it's nice to see you here. Sonia, good morning. Let me spit that out. I have been up since, I believe, around 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. So I am wide awake, as you can imagine. Sorry, guys. My allergies are doing better, but they're not 100%. Oh, I wish I could show it. Thank you for letting me know. So many of you guys know I can't see behind the scenes too well, but it looks like somebody used their monthly membership. Stacy, thank you for being a member and dealing with me for the last 4 months. She says, love your channel. I wish I could put it up to the on the screen, but I can't on the back end. It drives me nuts, but I don't see it on there. But my mods are keeping me up to date with everybody. So thank you so much. Love you as well. And just wanted to say good morning. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys know I'm like duking it out with Mrs. Ashleigh Banfield right now. Like, I'm just over it. I'm stinking over it. But thank you, my mods, that are keeping me apprised of the membership stuff. We don't usually talk about it because I don't see them. So now the mods are letting me know during our lives when things are popping in that they know I can't see. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stacy, for everything that you do. Thank you for your support and love of this channel. It's people like you that keep this channel going. And we do a lot of controversial stuff. I mean, I get it. You know, we do stuff that we feel brings attention to cases. And, you know, right now there hasn't been a whole lot. I think the last controversial issue was the Quentin Simon case and Leilani being able to stay out of jail on double probation, failing drug tests, and a son missing, and her being named the only suspect. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. The state attorney's getting a cease and desist letter this week from the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we're moving forward. If they don't stop their rhetoric, they're going to have themselves in the hot seat soon. I'm over it. And we will clear our name. We will clear the stigma around social media. We can't help the cockroach channels. But to paint social media with such a broad brush is disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting. Who else do we have? ZA, good morning. Dottie Gleason Art, good morning. It's nice to see you here. Who else do we have? And a lot of conversation. Tammy T, you were kind of sandwiched in the middle. I almost missed you. Being Feather, nice to see you this morning. Jenny Belanger, hopefully I said that right. Melly Joe, nice to see you. Vic King in the house. Wake up is finally here, and it's time to wake up. Nani, it's nice to see you. Southern Granny Wolf, nice to see you. Michelle, Mary, Patricia Miller, Angie, all the lovely people. Sheila, God bless you. DC, nice to see you. Who else do we have? Pink Peony. Hold on, I saw there was something. I missed something. Jennifer L., good morning. It's nice to see you, love bug. Hope you're feeling good today. Rose Petals, Sweet Candy, nice to see you guys. Excuse me, still under allergy attack, but I'll be right back. I'm sorry. One of these days I will be rid. You know what they need to come up with? They need to come up with a permanent out. You know, they have ways to get rid of all these illnesses. Why can't they get the body? Why can't they give me a shot that will last for a lifetime, that will stop allergies? I just want one shot and then them be gone and be able to live my life happily without allergies. Nice to see you all. Sweet Candy is saying good night. Oh, sorry. Yes, we are not the night owls. We are the early birds. So sometimes we get some owls over here in the birdie section. But we love all animals. So you are more than welcome to be over here until you crash out. Oh, Lord. And yes, guys, there's like 4 different designs Sonia has put up. I'm not sure. I keep pushing this off from one week to the next. We've got a raffle. I've got to get it set up in the system. I found a system that a third-party raffle, everything is done on a third-party system. The money, everything. And I'm actually considering, I didn't even think about this, but when I was reading through the raffle, the third-party raffle site, I even thought of something else because they had suggested it. And it was like a 50-50 where we, sell tickets nominally priced, but whoever's the winner gets 50% of the pot, and 50% of the pot goes to the channel. And I'm like, that actually would be kind of good. And then it could go to like our cause. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, that would actually be good. And actually, I think everybody would like that. So I've committed to 4 shirts from our dear friend Sonia. If you guys, she's got 3 of them. She's got Wake Up, It's Going to Be a Good Day, which I absolutely, every shirt she sent me, I absolutely love. It's my favorite until the next one. And then the next one's like my favorite. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. So we have No Justice, No Peace that has Dolly, Olivia, and myself on it. We have Team Foul Play that is Dolly and Bullhorn Betty. And we have Wake Up, It's Going to Be a Good Day Coffee Club shirt. And there's one more, and I can't remember it. And I'm sorry. I just can't for the life of me remember which one it is. And she can help me out with that. But she's got 4 great designs, and I love the designs. And they're far more superior than the ones that I have on the Teespring. So if you guys like those designs, consider going and purchasing one of those shirts. They are Bullhorn Betty shirts. We do support small businesses that support this channel, and she's one of those. So if you guys would like to go out and buy a shirt, please do so. Or you can wait until next week, and I promise you, come hell or high water, we are going to have a raffle, and we are going to get rid of some shirts. I did not purchase the shirts and have her send them to here. I'm going to pay for them and have her mail them. I think everything would be easier for her just to mail them. I'll send her the money. She'll just mail them from hers. Then you can get whatever design you want, whatever size you need. And there won't be any problems with me purchasing like a small, medium, and large. And then the person that wins it needs an extra large. All that stuff goes into play. So we are still doing it. It's just that I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to stop. So that's still in the works, and we are committed to that. So this morning, I'm starting to get tired of Ashleigh Banfield and these anonymous sources, because here's the kicker. We found out that her and Steve Hellings, remember I had a problem with the People magazine articles, right? People magazine. His name is Steve Helling. Okay. Bombshell breaking news, 5 different occasions, anonymous sources, someone close to the investigation, law enforcement close to the investigation. Now, this is perceived to be Ashleigh Banfield's friend, but as close as they may be and the way they act like they're a little more than just friends. Just putting that out there. Don't know, not factual, haven't corroborated it. My source tells me, my anonymous source tells me that Ashleigh Banfield and Steve Hellings is in cahoots with each other. Right? My anonymous source. I'm the anonymous source. No, I'm just joking. But do you see how that works? I can just throw up anything I want to. Now, there is a connection between Steve Hellings and Ashleigh Banfield. They are friends. She talks about him. She's been around him. They've even scheduled trips together. Okay, so I'm going to dub Steve Hellings, her boy toy. Okay, so boy toy, right, and Ashleigh Banfield are in cahoots. Only 2 people having these groundbreaking, bombshell, newsworthy, clickbait titles and getting all the attention. People Magazine, Steve Hellings, Ashleigh Banfield, News Nation. What is going on here, right? And then she doubles down. And then she brings Brian Entin in for convincing her audience. Brian, I love you, man. That's all I gotta say. I love you. Good friend. You're a good friend. But the issue is even Brian, I don't know, is on board with her whole anonymous source BS. Because I'm watching him. I'm watching his body language. You guys know I highly respect Brian Entin, period. I highly respect that man. More so than anybody else because I know where he came from. I watched him get to where he is. I mean, he was already growing. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was already growing. He had already had, you know, I want to say 20 or 20,000, something like that, followers at the time I met Brian Entin. Okay. And he is now the national correspondent. Like he has really risen up the ranks fairly quickly over the last couple years. I mean, he's really done a bang up job. He's doing great work. You know, he's somebody that I highly respect that in my opinion has absolute utmost integrity. And you would never hear me say a bad thing about that man. So it's not like I'm just picking on Ashleigh Banfield. There are good reasons why I do not have any respect for that woman. I have respect for News Nation. I have respect for Brian Entin. But I don't have respect for Ashleigh Banfield. And then when she's being called out for these anonymous sources because they don't make sense, she decides to double down again and say, well, you know, can't it just be both? No, it can't. Your source is crap. Wherever you're getting your information from, change your source. It's that simple. And here we go again. A friend close to Dylan Mortensen. If it's a friend close to Dylan Mortensen, that person should be putting their name out there, right? Did you talk to them? Or are you just watching a video on YouTube, Ashleigh? I'd like to know. Good morning, Sean. How many more people came in here? I missed a few people because we've already... Team Rose, nice to have you, love. Ruby Joy, Stacy. I know I just saw some Joy Swift. Nice to see you. Good morning, Jennifer. I think I've already said Jennifer. It's Erica. Nice to see you. Hugsy. Sean, I see you in here. Okay. Hockey Mama 11. Nice to see you. Just want to make sure I got everybody. Chili Chick. What else do we got in here? I already said good morning to Pink. The official Nikki. Good morning. Good morning. So, you know, it's just really irking me. I have to be honest with you. It is literally irking me as to what in the world is going on with Ashleigh Banfield. Why is she doing this? I understand, you know, things aren't, you know, the news is kind of fading away for the Idaho 4, which is what the judge is trying to do to begin with all these erroneous gag orders that are most likely going to be, well, they already are being challenged, but most likely going to go away because they're unconstitutional. You know, you can gag order something for a limited basis, for a limited purpose, but this is a public trial. You cannot keep the public out of a public trial. Chatham County. Hear me when I say you cannot keep the public out of a public trial. And Mr. State Prosecutor, I'm going to make sure I'm sitting behind you. So when I mumble shit under my breath, you hear what I'm saying. Right behind you, baby. You get to look back and see Bullhorn Betty. March 23rd. I'll see you soon, babe. See you soon. Thank goodness I have respect for the courtroom. But believe me, when you step out of that courtroom, you're going to be hearing my First Amendment rights, my First Amendment freedom of speech, buddy. People. All right, so let's get on with this. What am I talking about related to her doubling down? Well, let's see. Let's see what I'm talking about. Can I get this? Here we go.
More to solving the puzzle that so many people have been conflicted over. Why on earth wouldn't someone call the police right away if they saw a figure in the house? I think this may give a little bit more context to what Dylan saw and what she was.
Quit talking about this anonymous source that you have yourself and your team has not corroborated or fact find. You did not do that, Ashleigh Banfield. You know you did not do that. Stop with the madness, lady. Stop, babe, stop.
Was thinking and what she was going through.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I still have so many questions and something just isn't adding up here. I mean, the always locking of the door, that makes sense because we know this was a party house and all the rooms had individual doors. But what this anonymous source has told you, it doesn't jive exactly with.
Because he didn't or she didn't tell Ashleigh. Brian, Ashleigh went to YouTube and pulled a video from a man that didn't even identify himself and used that as her anonymous source. She didn't speak to this person. Give me a break. Cut it out.
What's in the probable cause affidavit, which is a very important document that police use to make the arrest. And that document has the information that the roommate gave the police, even specific quotes saying that there was someone there. It's okay. I'm going to help you. That she heard that she heard crying. And then perhaps the most important thing, Ashleigh, that doesn't seem to jive with this new information, she said, quote, that she was in a frozen shock phase. Frozen shock phase. I don't understand how that matches up with her just thinking that there was partying going on in the house.
Now you know
So
why.
that's a really good point. I was trying to sort of make sense of that as well. And I can say this about all the probable.
No, you weren't. You were trying to get a click and a view, Ashleigh. You were trying to get a click and a view because if you were trying to make sense of this, you would have stated this in your original video. That although that this doesn't match, we don't understand why it's conflicting because you didn't talk to your source. You don't know who the source is. You've never met that source. You haven't even confirmed whether that source is a friend of Dylan Mortensen. You know it. I know it. Your colleague right here, Brian Entin, most likely knows it. But go ahead with your damage control, babe. Go ahead with your damage control. We're getting to it. We're getting to it. And it's going to just make you frustrated.
Cause affidavits that I've read, they are just a skinny little piece of the picture, and there's very little of the full story that's in the probable cause affidavit. So I think both things can be true at the same time.
Boom! I think both things can be true at the same time. They contradict themselves, lady. They wouldn't even use her statements if she had contradicting statements in her own testimony. She had an attorney help her. An attorney's not going to have her contradict herself because that's borderline perjury. Doubling down. well, I believe maybe perhaps both could be true. No, you are a snake, Ashleigh Banfield. That's why you've been fired from just about every job you have. You have had. And with your buddy, Steve Hellings. Man, you guys must be the most powerful people in freaking on the news, right? You trump every news organization ever, because between you and your friend Steve Hellings, you guys get it. Man, don't you guys? You guys must be the best of the best of the best. And I'm just dumbfounded, Ashleigh. How can the best person with all these connections be fired from so many jobs in her past? I mean, come on. She's the best of the best. She's got the ins with all these people, man. Right? She's sitting where she's sitting, but boy, she knows how to work the United States really well without getting up off her duff. Curious about this, but double down, Ashleigh. Let's hear what else you have to say.
May have done exactly as the probable cause affidavit outlines, but these may have been some of the additional things that happened. And I think there's even more. And as far as the shock phase that she's in, being a girl who is in college at 4 o'clock in the morning in the, dark house.
Ashleigh, just stop. You were busted. Okay? You were busted. Come on. Cut it out. You and your boy toy, Stephen Hellings.
Seeing a man all clad in black that you don't recognize.
Look at Brian's face. He's just like, I can't believe I'm not putting words in his mouth. I'm just reading body language at this moment. And he's trying to make it make sense. Well, I want to hear what his response is. He might back his friend up because he's a good guy. But look at his face. He's like, oh, shit. Really? Come on, lady. Look at that face. I wish I could blow it up. Can I blow this up? I can't blow it up. If I could blow this up and show you his face, put it on the big screen. Look at that. Look at Brian Entin's face at the moment while she's trying to explain this. You are absolutely right, Sean. You are absolutely right. He has the WTF face at this very moment. But, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And I know he's a team player, so he might have Ashleigh's back, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's a struggle. But let's hear. He may play devil's advocate and say, yeah, maybe perhaps this is. I haven't watched it to the end. We're watching it together. I only watched the first, and I had to shut it off when I heard her double down. And I'm like, this is, it's inspiring me. This is going to be the topic of our conversation, right? Let's keep going.
With a mask on might have been a little jarring, might have been a little frightening.
Oh, of course. 5 more seconds. We left time. Okay, great. Nope. She wouldn't even let him respond. She didn't even post Brian Entin's response. He had the whole WTF face, and Ashleigh Banfield, I'm sure it was explored further. We're probably going to find it. Let me go to their YouTube page real quick and see if we can get the rest of that clip. I find that hilarious. She didn't even keep the clip in there of Brian Entin's response. I'm sorry, you can't make this stuff up. And you know what else? Guess what else I did? Check this out. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And of course, without further ado, her boy toy, roommate of Slain, feels lots of survivor guilt about murders. Source, right? Source says, this came out on Valentine's Day. What friend are you speaking to, Steve Helling? And it is Helling, not Hellings. It's Helling. Your boy toy now is also doubling down. How many of these jaw-dropping Steve Helling articles have we had? This makes 6 anonymous source about these victims, about these surviving victims, right? The survivors. Now They feel a lot of, let's read this. Now, nobody has even talked to Bethany Funk, right? Nobody's even talked to Bethany Funk. But 2 victims were unhurt during the rampage, and police say they have been cleared as suspects, according to the police. The former roommates are still reeling from the murders and have been haunted by the events of that. Where are you getting that information, Steve? They feel a lot of survivor guilt. A friend who has spoken to one of the roommates tells People. So their friends. So where's this anonymous source, Steve? Who's leaking? Who is violating the gag order, Steve? Is Dylan violating the gag order and talking to friends about the case when she's not supposed to? I mean, she does realize what a gag order is. Are you trying to have her arrested? Are you trying to put her and Bethany in contempt of court? Are her friends? I mean, I'm just curious. So, again, we've got Ashleigh Banfield and Steve Helling, some of the most powerful people in the news, because they get all the goods while all these other news organizations just can't cut it, right? Because they have all these anonymous sources, right? So, so now we have 2 people that appear to be colluding, knowing that there's a gag order, and they are capitalizing off the gag order because nobody can corroborate anything that is being stated in any of these articles. Ashleigh, I see you're fired in your future, along with your boy toy, Steve Helling. So that's kind of, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You seriously can't make this stuff up. So I am actually going to open the phone lines. I really want your opinion. I do. We're going to go over all this stuff again as more people get into the chat. But for right now, for us, we're going to be opening up the phone lines. And I want to know, do you believe this nonsense of these anonymous sources? Because let's be honest, a lot of the stuff she's saying is contradicting, literally contradicting the probable cause affidavit. And if it was really true, come on, let's be honest. Dylan, 1, would not be a good witness. They wouldn't even be able to call her because she's lying through her teeth. And at the end of the day, we all know that Dylan's actions have been beneficiary to the defense. Her statements on the stand, I have a funny feeling we're going to find out that nothing Ashleigh has said is true. We already know Steve Helling has been called out, at least by the owner of Mad Greek, saying your story is a lie. He didn't mince his words either. The owner of Mad Greek said, you're lying. You are lying. He did it. Steve Helling is the one that did the article about how Brian Koberger ate at the Mad Greek restaurant at least 2 times and ordered the vegan pizza. Yeah. He's the one that did that article. Ashleigh Banfield's boy toy. Can you believe that? It's crazy. You can't. Truth is stranger than fiction. It really is. So let me get the phones up. I'm going to keep talking. If you guys want to call in and let it be known, like, do you? Oh, don't do it yet. Hold on. I got to present. Don't call in, otherwise you're going to get. I'm hanging up. Sorry, you're going to have to call back. I didn't want to dox you. Give me a second. Let me get you pulled up. There we go. All right. Yeah, you can call back. You can call back. I'm so sorry for hanging up on you. So sorry for hanging up on you. Maybe I should call them back. I didn't mean to hang up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. So whoever just called in, you can call back. I had to hang up on you because I did not want to dox your phone number, and you were calling in right as I was putting it on the screen. There you are. Good morning. It's Betty.
Good morning, Bullhorn. How are you?
I am doing well. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Steph, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Well, it's nice to have you, Beth. So, do you believe Ashleigh Banfield and her boy toy?
I am in shock. I mean, literally, I thought we was going to hear no info at all from any media besides like maybe YouTube.
Right.
So I'm just in shock, like gag order and all. Like, how is this happening?
Exactly. And I'm still dumbfounded because it's like we find this connection between Ashleigh and Steve. They're friends. I calling him her boy toy because, quite frankly, I kind of get that feeling. And it's just funny that they travel together, and the only two people that seem to have these sources in their pocket seem to be these two people that are essentially friends, Steve Helling and Ashleigh Banfield. The only people breaking the news right now.
And you know that they're having their little side talks behind closed doors.
Of course.
They're no idiots. You know that they're like, okay, when you say this, I'm going to say this. Like there's definitely more to it. But yeah, I definitely see a firing in the horizon. I mean, this is insane.
I think so. And we know for a fact, Steve Helling, the owner of Mad Greek, I mean, he didn't mince his words. He called him out and called him a liar.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot about that. It's been so much information. I swear it's information overload. Oh my gosh. What do you think that they're going to do about her? Do you think that eventually that law enforcement is going to say something about Banfield going on these rants?
Nothing's going to happen until that gag order is lifted. And then you're going to find all these news organizations are falling in line. But it was funny because Brian was up there. Everybody knows I relish Brian. And he's up there with the whole WTF face.
Oh, yeah. But what about, is it like I don't know the Brian guy as much as the Banfield. So is it a known thing, a known fact to the world, like I guess if you're not living under a rock, that they do have a little thing going on?
Well, no, actually, what I do know is that they are friends and they have traveled together. That's the only thing I've been able to corroborate. But I just find it, it's just.
But yes, inquiring minds definitely would could make that assumption. But
the joke is my source told me that they are that's the plot of the story is my source. My anonymous source told me that he was her boy toy.
I know. It's crazy that we're sitting here talking about Ashleigh Banfield having her boy toy. I'm dying. But no, what I think is the more insane about Banfield is one day she was ripping Dylan Mortensen to shreds, and then the next day it's, well, it could be both. I mean, she could have been in shock and this could have happened. And then the other day she was ripping her to shreds pretty much. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because one, like just Samantha, she found out where she got her source information for the termination letter, which was from some Yahoo on TikTok. And then we found out where she got her information from Dylan feels she was thrown under the bus by the police and the story doesn't jive. She got that from a small YouTube channel, not corroborated. And the stuff that they're using as corroborating evidence, they pulled from Reddit. I mean, come on.
That is insane. I just made a dang Reddit account a few months ago when all of this stuff started happening. I made one to see, the info and stuff. So I know how random, it can be to be on Reddit. And I get that you can get info there, but you don't know that person from a hole in the ground.
Right. But she's a news, she's touting herself as a reporter and a journalist, and you're pulling your sources from freaking Reddit.
It's insane, ain't it? Would you have to get your sources from Reddit? I mean, literally, you and Olivia should be on mainstream media. Right. I mean, the roles need to be reversed because it's getting insane.
It is, because they, like I keep saying, mainstream media is becoming a dying breed. People aren't going there for their news. And like,
no, I don't.
Right.
Me and my husband argue over it. He's like, "Are you going to watch this?" Blah blah. I'm like, "No, I watch what I need to on YouTube, unfiltered."
Yeah. And so I'm like, I pulled stuff from Reddit, but I have to come here and tell you guys, look, it came from Reddit. We can't give it a whole lot of weight. We don't know whether it's true or not. That's what I do to the people. I tell them where the source came from and tell them why we cannot trust it as fact. But she's running with these stories as they're fact. She's pulling crap from Reddit and saying it's fact.
It's insane, but she's wanting to keep the story alive. She's wanting to keep it alive, and the sad part is there's going to be information, sadly, that keeps coming out. She doesn't have to keep doing this. I just think that it's sad. It's sad that mainstream media has turned into that. Like with you and Olivia, you guys have morals. You have a moral compass on what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's what these people need to understand. They have to have some type of moral compass. These are people. These are real babies that are not alive anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. And I can tell you, when we go out there, we put all our entire heart and soul into it. It's not just a news story for us to have our 15-minute, news segment. I mean, we really track these cases from start to finish in most cases. Some of them we start in the middle. Some of them we're coming in at the tail end of it. But at the end of the day, when we grab a hold of a case, we put our heart and soul into it. For example,
well, honey, when the Gonzalez family took you guys in to tell their part of the story, there's no words that need to be said. They trusted you with their daughter's, story. So, I mean, that says a lot.
It does.
Right there.
It does.
I mean, it says a lot.
And, everybody kept painting the Gonzalez family. They're everything we say family should, exactly what they should do.
Exactly.
And people were beating them up for doing exactly what they should have done. This is their daughter. Until you're put
I
in
would
this
have done the
position,
same thing.
Yeah. And to have, what was it, Newsmax or something? They had that FBI trying to accuse Steve Gonzalez of the father of a victim of being, him having so much information. How do we know he's not the killer? Are you effing kidding me?
Oh, it killed me when that was going on. I was like, this is a normal dad angry. This is a normal dad. Like, how can these people even think that? I swear, some people's minds just go the weirdest places. And I'm a weirdo. My mind goes places, but not that type of place.
Yeah, but he wasn't there. I mean, he is think about it. As a father, your daughter just graduated. She just bought her Range Rover. She's about to get her dream job, and she goes away for the weekend to be with her best friend, and she doesn't come home. As a parent, he even said, went as far as saying, I may be unemployable after this. He doesn't care. This is his daughter.
Oh yeah. I cannot imagine how they feel. And some of the parents don't even have the heart to really speak. Everybody that goes to show everybody deals with things differently. But Lord have mercy, I will not get over it until I find out about DM's 8-hour damn wait.
Yeah.
When I find that out, I'll feel a lot better.
Oh, but the law enforcement threw her under the bus, and even that video that guy did, he was talking. Yes, she was a surviving roommate in the house. If she was not interrogated by law enforcement and the FBI, and an interrogation is not, oh, well, where have you been? How are they? It is much tougher than that. It is, why did it take you so long?
That she lawyered up. I really do. I hate to, I hate to speculate, but, I do think that law enforcement and the FBI would want to talk to her.
Yeah.
The only way that they couldn't talk to her would be as if she got a lawyer.
Yeah. No, they talked to her. It sounded like she was interrogated. And because she got scared with the interrogation, them thinking it was her, she got a lawyer. And in all fairness, me being a legal person that I am, I would have gotten a lawyer immediately as well. I would have.
Yeah. It's understandable, but at the same time, it makes you think, it's a hard one.
It is
That
hard.
8 hours is really, really, really just making my mind go all sorts of places. And that's not, I mean, that could be bad. I mean, my mind could be over there and it could be a whole different thing going on, you know? So,
right. But
I don't
the
know.
difference is she didn't come to the police department with her attorney. You know, like Alec Murdaugh had his attorney in the back seat for his very first interview. It's like,
That is true.
you know,
But
there's
she's
a big
young.
difference.
She's young. Yeah, but she is young and she wasn't a lawyer like him. So it might have took her a second, you know, too. But I don't know. I think I think there's a lot to be said with 8 hours being in a house with 4 dead bodies. And I mean, that's just putting it bluntly. I mean, 4 dead bodies, and it takes friends coming over for you to figure it out. I mean, I'm standing in my house at this layout, and I'm looking over there, and I'm like, I could smell my baby's dirty diaper from the trash can in the kitchen.
Yeah.
How do they not smell the blood of 4 people?
Listen to this.
It was
So
coming out of the house.
How many times, and maybe we need a 20-something here. I was 20-something. And maybe it's just me and my bladder. But sometime through the night, I have to get up and go to the bathroom. You know, and even if I didn't go to the bathroom the night before, like wake up in the middle of the night and have to go to the bathroom, the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is go to the bathroom.
Go straight to the bathroom.
So you have to walk past Ethan laying in the middle of the floor
to the bathroom.
To go to the bathroom.
Oh, oh my God. I didn't even think about using the bathroom. I didn't even think about that.
So again, it comes back to
what is going through her mind? There's no hallucinogenic. Listen, I've been there, done that, all that. There is nothing that is going to put you out so bad that you're walking around dead bodies and you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm high. There's nothing going on.
He passed out. He got too drunk last night.
Yeah, there's just some dead bodies over here. I'll wait till I get up. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. But we'll see. I know I keep going on about this Dylan thing, but when we find out, I will feel better.
Yeah, I can't wait until her affidavit is submitted into the court, because I'm probably going to rain hell down on Ashleigh Banfield yet again. Like, do better. Like,
I'll be there with you. I said I'll be your little. I said I'll be your and Olivia's bodyguard. I'm petite, but I got some punch. So
there you go. Oh, you must have been. I saw your comment in the chat. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I'll come with y'all. I got your back.
You know, it's the smaller ones are a little wiry.
They are. They're the feisty ones. You got to watch out for us. Boom, boom.
Well, thank you so much.
But no, listen, I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too.
And I'm so glad that you took my call. And I hope you guys have a wonderful morning. And I'll be watching.
God bless.
Bye, baby.
Bye-bye. But you know what? I mean, it is true. I mean, think about it. I mean, as a 20-something, it was no different. It's not like I got bladder issues or anything like that. It's just, you know, I drank, but I have to be honest with you. I drank probably more than the normal person. When I gained a whole bunch of weight, my weight was gained more because of the stuff I drank. I was drinking like 2.5 gallons of sweet tea. You know, it wasn't that I was eating an awful lot of food. My calories literally came from liquids. So it was, you know, so maybe I do have to pee more. You know, maybe I wake up in the middle. Maybe I'm by myself at the 2 o'clock pee break. You know, the 2 a.m. pee break. Maybe I'm alone in this. But I have to think, even in my 20s, you know, if we do take into consideration she may have been intoxicated, you know, she goes to bed at 2 o'clock. You got to pee. You got to pee. 3 o'clock. Well, she went to bed at 4? So at least by 8 a.m., she's probably got to pee. I mean, come on. All right. We're getting down to the peeing. We're breaking the case down. We're breaking the case down piece by piece, pee by pee. But I just find it awfully convenient. Okay, let's just say that. I find it awfully, it's all about the pee. It is. It's all about the P. But we're breaking it down P by P. No, just joking. Okay, I need to stop. I can go on for days on this one, and I'm already starting to cry. So it's probably not going to be good for the makeup here in just a second. But I just find it awfully convenient that Ashleigh and her boy toy, because anonymous source told me that they're doing something, because I've got these anonymous sources too. All right. I got these anonymous sources too. So Ashleigh and her boy toy are sitting here. They're the only people that are coming out with these groundbreaking news articles in People magazine and on News Nation. It's funny because Brian Entin is down there, boots on the ground, and couldn't get this information, but sitting in a studio, it's easy. It's easy peasy that you can reach out to anybody. Who the heck do you know to reach out to? Like, we were there for weeks. We were in Idaho for weeks. It was hard to find 2 people to talk to us. Like, what? And now you're talking about people breaking gag orders. You have got to be kidding me. I doubt their first inclination is to break a gag order and not protect the case and leak information. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. And not only that, but the person, Ashleigh Banfield's source, contradicted himself in his video. Oh, we've been around her since the minute it happened. And we've been with her ever since. And we're not just the circle, the inner circle. We're the inner circle. Who says that about a friend? Like, if it came to my friend, like I've been with my BFF, right? I wouldn't consider my BFF inner circle, but not just the inner circle, but I'm in her inner circle. You would never hear me say something like that as referring to my BFF. And I would think I would be in her inner circle, and not just her inner circle, but her inner circle. What? It's convincing language. But we're fact finding Ashleigh Banfield at this moment. We're fact finding Ashleigh Banfield. We're fact finding her boy toy, Stephen Helling, and where they're getting their information is hogwash. You as a reporter, as a mainstream media reporter, shouldn't be getting your information from TikTok. Okay, with a lady that has a letter from TikTok. And then we know that she was like, so let's look at this. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let me back up here. So Steve Helling wrote the article about the Mad Greek. Mad Greek owner comes out and calls BS. Calls the man a liar publicly. This guy is lying. Okay. Then we have the story about Ashleigh Banfield with the termination letter. By the way, again, shout out to Just Samantha. She sends the link. We see the letter. We see what it says. No real letterhead on it, right? She takes that as fact. And now Wazoo comes out with a statement saying, hey, we wouldn't have sent that letter out, nor would it have been provided to anybody had they request, because of the privacy acts of the colleges and the university. We can't do that. We can't disclose that information. So Ashleigh, you didn't get it from Brian Kohberger. So that means what you presented to people is a lie. So now Wazoo's coming out and calling Ashleigh Banfield a liar, but not as directly as the Mad Greek owner when he came out and said, no, this guy is lying, right? But they did it in such a way that you knew she was lying. They said, well, we would never give a letter like that out. And they went on to explain themselves. Now, the bottom line is this was the end of the semester. So it seems to me that he would have had to reapply for his teachership, his aideship, whatever they call it, the internship, the teacher's aid, TA, assistantship. That's what I'm looking for, assistantship. So it would seem like he would have had to reapply for the assistantship anyways when he went there for his second semester, because there's no guarantee that you get funding for the second semester. He may have not liked the school. He may have wanted to leave the school. But it was at the end of the semester that he received his termination letter. And the date that Ashleigh Banfield said he was terminated wasn't the date that Wazoo said he was terminated. They said he was terminated as of December 31st. She says he was terminated as of December 19th. So again, she lied and was busted. I did a video on it. She was busted for lying about that. Steve Hellings, her boy toy, was busted for lying about the Mad Greek. So how can we even believe a damn thing coming out of Ashleigh Banfield or Stephen Hellings' mouth? I'm curious about your thoughts. And for those that are just tuning in, you probably don't know what in the world we're talking about now. So I'm going to replay it for you. Let me get it up. And then I think this will clarify a lot of stuff for you, because she's doubling down. She was busted for using crackpot sources, and she's been called out. So what does she do? She decides to bring Brian Entin on, somebody that I highly respect, that I know has integrity, to try to help, with damage control. And even Brian Entin, in all fairness, called her out on her own show. I'm sorry. It's true. It's true. Let me put this back up here. The phones I'm going to turn off for a second. I can't have both screens on at the same time. And I want people to get this, and then we'll turn the phones back on. Okay, guys? So just bear with me. You can't make this stuff up. Like, seriously, can't make this stuff up. And look at Brian's face. He has the WTF face at the end of this, when she's trying her hardest to say she's not a liar. She's trying her hardest to say she's not a liar. Sorry. And it's falling on my deaf ears, to be honest with you. We gotta listen to the commercial, so I'm going to pull it back. Wait a second. It's letting me skip the ad.
More to solving the puzzle that so many people have been conflicted over. Why on earth wouldn't someone call the police right away if they saw a figure in the house? I think this may give a little bit more context to what Dylan saw and what.
I just want to let you know, I'm serious. Watch Brian's face. Hold on, let me move the banner real quick. You got to watch this. You got to watch his face. He's being serious. He's a team player. But he's not even buying this secret source, anonymous source BS from his colleague. So let's just, you'll see what I mean.
What she was thinking and what she was going through.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I still have so many questions, and something just isn't
maybe a little bit. Something is just not adding up.
Here. I mean, the always locking of the door, that makes sense because we know this was a party house and all the rooms had individual doors. But what this anonymous source has told you, it doesn't jive exactly with what's in the probable cause affidavit.
Because the person didn't tell her. She was sleuthing YouTube and found this guy that proclaims to be a boyfriend to Dylan's friend in her inner circle, but he never called his girlfriend her friend. He said she's in the inner circle, but not the inner circle, the inner circle, but never alleged that they were friends. And then goes in further states. We watched it just the other day. I'm not going to rehash that, but listen to Brian. He is kind of calling Ashleigh out without calling her out.
Which is a very important document that police used to make the arrest. And that document has the information that the roommate gave the police, even specific quotes saying that there was someone there. It's okay. I'm going to help you. That she heard that she heard crying. And then perhaps the most important thing, Ashleigh, that doesn't seem to jive with this new information, she said, quote, that she was in a frozen shock phase.
Yes. And that is what the probable. Now, mind you, I just want to preface this before we go any further. Dylan was in the hot seat. She was being interrogated. She made statements to law enforcement, not just one law enforcement officer, multiple law enforcement officers. She had an attorney. Her attorney would have represented her and made sure she did not say anything written or verbal under oath that was not true. That's the whole purpose of having an attorney, to protect your rights and to protect your interests. And your attorney will say, because they're going to, they probably will not ask you if you're guilty of a crime. They're just going to assume they need to protect your interests, no matter whether you're responsible for the crime or just a witness to the crime. So she had an attorney helping her. So you have this most likely recorded. You most likely have a written statement of the facts that she signed under oath. She had an attorney with her. And all of a sudden, this anonymous source comes out and says, oh no, they threw her under the bus. No, they didn't. Law enforcement, when it gets to the court level, it doesn't play games. They'll lie to your face. But if they have to state something under oath, it will be truthful and correct. Believe that.
A frozen shock phase. I don't understand how that matches up with her just thinking that, you know, that there was partying going on in the house.
Now you know
so
why
it's a really good point.
Now you know why I love Brian Entin. He is with the facts. And excuse my language to all the Christians in here. You might want to cover your ears. And I apologize about this as it comes out, but there's no other word that quite comes to this level. But the fuckery, excuse my language, that Ashleigh Banfield and her cohort, Steve Hellings, is doing to everybody here related to this story.
Point. I was trying to sort of make sense of that as well. And
you weren't trying to make sense of that. You were trying to run with a fraudulent story, lady. Listen to her and how she doubles down. It's about to come up for those that are just now tuning in.
Can say this about all the probable cause affidavits that I've read. They are just a skinny little piece of the picture, and there's very little of the full story that's in the probable cause affidavit. So I think both things can be true at the same time. She may have done exactly as the probable cause affidavit.
Those two things can't possibly be done. You can't be thinking it's just a friend and be frozen in shock because you're scared of seeing a man in black. Those two things contradict themselves. That means Dylan would have been lying under oath, lady. I don't know if you quite understand how this works, but you know you do. So what is it? Is this the story or is it an anonymous source? We don't believe the anonymous source because we have fact-checked where she got her anonymous source from. And sorry, a YouTuber that is identified as Predator something or other has no name. How did you speak to him, Ashleigh? How did you confirm this information? Did you look at pictures to see if he was in pictures with Dylan? And how many years prior to that? How do you know this is true? You cannot possibly tell me that Dylan is saying one statement to law enforcement and another statement to these anonymous sources that you keep having. Yes, I know. His name starts with Predator something. I'll pull that back up too.
That outlines, but these may have been some of the additional things that happened. And I think there's even more. And as far as the shock phase that she's in, you know, being a girl who is in college at 4 o'clock in the morning and the, you know, dark house.
Quit doubling down, lady. Like you're freaking, your voice is driving me up a wall at the moment. Like nobody believes your crap, and you're bringing Brian Entin on to try to make you look better, and he's calling you out on your own show, lady. Like there's no possibility of your story being true. Quit doubling down on it. Oh, well, I believe it's just a snippet. Yeah, it's just a snippet, but they're not going to leave out the fact that she was hollering at them, that she thought it was a party going on. Clearly, if she thought it was a party going on, how could you hear specific statements being made like somebody's in the house? I mean, if there's so much noise going on and so much music and so many people in the house partying, how did she hear that statement on the 3rd floor? How did she hear Xana whimpering in the room over if there's this party going on in this house and she just wants to lock her door because there's just too many people, too much party and too much music. She just wants people to calm down, right? But it contradicts the statement that everybody was in their room, either asleep everybody was asleep or in their room by at least 4 a.m. So clearly, according to Bethany's portion of the statement, there was no party going on. None. There was no people over at that house. It was just the people in the house. So again, Ashleigh, quit doubling down. You're making yourself look like a fool. I know my friend Sherry says, don't use the word fool.
I do. Seeing all of this is more to solving the puzzle that so many people have been conflicted over. Why on earth wouldn't someone call the police right away if they saw a figure in the house? I think this may give a little bit more context to what Dylan saw and what she was thinking and what she was going through.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I still have so many questions and something just isn't adding up here. I mean, the always locking of the door, that makes sense because we know this was a party house and all the rooms had individual doors. But what this anonymous source has told you.
She didn't tell her. She watched a video like I did, Brian. I just want to let you know in case you're watching. This anonymous source did not speak to Ashleigh Banfield. She watched a video on YouTube. Anyways, so let me open the phones back up. So that's what we're saying. And and the other thing that I wanted to show the new people coming in, her boy toy, Steve Helling, he's the one that's constantly writing those groundbreaking news articles, right? That he's the one, Steve Helling. Let me show you his name right there, right there. Right here. See that? Right there. Her boy toy. They travel together, they talk together, they're friends. I'm going to call her boy toy because my anonymous source tells me they're doing more than just traveling and being buddies together, because that's what my anonymous source told me. Prove me wrong, Ashleigh. Prove my anonymous source wrong. So this is the problem I have. And so it seems like her and her buddy, Steve, are the only ones breaking news. They're the only ones that are breaking news on this case. They're the only ones. They're the most powerful people on mainstream media streets. They're the only ones with the goods of all these anonymous sources. And both of them, both friends, talk often, right? And they're both the ones that are touting all these anonymous sources. No facts checking whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. Won't tell us where these anonymous sources are coming from, but they're all alleging that Dylan Mortensen is violating the gag order. That is definitely what they're doing. They're trying to say that not only did she violate the gag order, she lied under oath, she's guilty of penalty under perjury, and she's guilty of contempt of court for violating the gag order. Right? And then she goes on and brings somebody that actually has respect and integrity, Brian Entin, on her show to try to double down. And he's even saying, wait a minute, this is way too contradictory. And she's like, well, it's just a snippet of the affidavit. And I believe that that both could be true. No, they can't, because they contradict themselves, lady. They contradict themselves. So this has really just got me fired up this morning, because I am held to such a higher standard, having to fact check every little thing. When I have an anonymous source on here, you know what I do behind the scenes? I make them provide me their picture. I make them provide me their social media. I make them provide me everything so I can fact check where that stuff comes from. You don't hear me have an anonymous source without fact checking them thoroughly and knowing that they were where they say they were. This lady is just pulling anything that's clickbaity off TikTok and YouTube and running it as true. And now all these other news organizations like New York Post and all New York Times are now running with the story that was that was cooked up by freaking Ashleigh Banfield and her boy toy, Stephen Helling. It's awful. Absolutely she is. She needs to be gone off of News Nation. She needs to go to a local news station because nobody listens to her. Nobody believes her anymore. And you know what? The reason why I don't like her is because she lied on Gabby Petito. She lied about us. And here she is again lying. Every time I watch anything, I can find at least 5 lies that woman is telling in most every single news article that she is posting, unless she's using factual information. She's a crackpot right along with her boy toy, Stephen Helling. Crackpot. Absolute crackpot. No, sorry, nobody has this many anonymous sources that they can just pull out of their butt. It just doesn't work that way. And not only that, but how are you finding these anonymous sources? Are they picking up the phone and saying, "Oh, hey, Ashleigh, you're the best person in the world, and I need to let you know what's really going on"? I mean, they're not calling any local news. They're not calling. They've heard of this Steve Helling, and they want to reach out to him and tell him all the news. They want to reach out to Ashleigh Banfield and tell her the story. I mean, they're the only 2 people in the news that matter. Yet Steve Helling has been known to do these anonymous sources in the past. He's known for this. He's known to have to retract statements and retract articles. Ashleigh Banfield, buddy with him. She's been fired from just about every single one of her job for lying and a number of other things. And here we go again with News Nation. Why? Because she ain't producing. She can't produce. She is just a horrible reporter, in my opinion. She has no facts. She doesn't take the time to look at the facts because she's too busy trying to be the cream of the crop. The problem is when you are the water, you go to the bottom. And baby, you are the water. Can't make this stuff up. I swear to God. True as a heart attack. All right. Hold on. Let me get this back up. I hate this program. I need to get something better. One day when I have time, I will. Okay. Phones are back open. If you want to call in, I'm telling you, I just don't believe it. I don't believe that she has all these anonymous sources at her fingertip. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. This is Betty.
Hi, it's Amy. How you doing?
Amy, I haven't talked
I'm
to you
just
in
driving.
forever.
It's so hard because I'm driving. I'm driving my daughter to school now. So, this just reinforces me not even watching these TV news shows. I don't believe anything they tell me.
Yeah.
And with News Nation, it went going downhill when they decided to hire Cuomo.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the next thing? And I don't understand. I think that Entin, in my opinion, should go off and form his own news network.
I do.
And leave the whole people behind, because as with anything, I don't know if you're being lied to. I don't believe anything I see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's constant gaslighting. So I never, even before I started true crime watching stuff like this, I didn't even never heard of News Nation, because I never even wanted to watch the news. Mm-hmm. Because with all the political garbage and the lies and the and what they call the wrap-up smears that they do to people, they package it in a little bow and they just sell it to you in marketing.
Yeah.
So I think this is what's going on today.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And they struggle with the same things that the people here on YouTube telling these stories and talking about the news. We're blocked out. We're blocked out. We're not going to, at least for me, I'm not going to make up stories that's why I'm doing other stories, is because I'm so sick of all the churning of this story.
Can you get after Alexis? I'm sorry, honey. I'm just talking to my daughter.
That's okay. Take care of that.
She's getting it. No, but you know what else I'm going to say? I've never said this, but the thing that gets me is that you all have to censor your talk, and you can't say certain things like words because you're going to get demonetized. But I want to know if these mainstream lying stations will get demonetized if they say those keywords For instance, you don't hear them say unaliving and etc. Like to really, it's like the censorship police. They don't do that, and they don't seem to be getting any kinds of penalties.
Yeah, well, they also.
I think it's crazy.
That's why I want the website, because my website, I'm able to still be on Google AdSense. So I'm going to be, when I publish the website out there, it's going to have news articles. It's going to be filled with ads, just like their online news publication is. So I think that's how they get around it, is because they have other avenues. Like they have the newspaper, they have the broadcasting, they have the website and things of that nature.
But I think if they want to save this news organization, they have to get rid of these fools.
Toxic people. These are toxic reporters, and I get that it is a competitive market. I mean, it's competitive here on YouTube. If I don't have good content, people are not going to come here to watch.
Well, I keep saying that News Nation is like TMZ now, and it's just, I can't take it seriously. Yeah. And I don't even watch. I won't even turn on the TV anymore.
The only person I will listen to is Brian Entin, because I know his work. I know he stands behind it. I know how hard he works to confirm the information he states, and he's literally the only person that I would trust.
Yeah, but I just think that if people stopped watching them and not believe, then they would do something. But if we keep watching them and giving them attention, though we need to give them attention, I think it enables their life. So
yeah,
that's it. I got to drive. I'm driving.
Well, God bless you. Thanks for calling in. I miss our conversations.
I know. I'm just hard because of my schedule now.
Yeah.
Have a good day now, everybody.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So yeah, I know. For those that are just joining in, we'll get back to that in just a second. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, it's Turkey Man.
Hey, Turkey Man, how are you, my love?
I'm doing good. You need to take a deep breath. Just calm down. Those people like that you're talking about, I don't watch regular news no more. I don't. And it's because of individuals like you're pointing out now. But let's talk about things that we know, and they'll crash and burn.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath, go back and put that back in the archives, because a year from now you'll be wanting that information to use.
Yep.
At that time. Right now, you've been down or streaming this trial.
Yeah.
And I've got just very short time this morning to be able to talk to you, but what do you think about his defense attorneys? What do you think about Alex's defense attorney?
I think they've made some critical mistakes in their defense of him that have opened the door to more testimony than he had to go through. Like, you have to be kitten gloves, and you've got to, even with the person on the stand, sometimes giving them instructions like, all I'm seeking is yes or no answers, don't elaborate unless I ask you to, things of that nature. And when they're asking the questions, they're not prefacing that. So, they're allowing these witnesses to talk and open doors that they didn't intend to open. And once the door's open, they can't close it.
Exactly. I mean, like the sister last yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They had, what the interview they had with her after the prosecution got through, I said, be quiet. That's enough. Be quiet. She had actually, they could have said, I have no counter from what she said, because everything she said was a real positive toward Alex.
Mm-hmm.
It showed that, didn't show nothing negative.
But
they kept digging around there and made it. If I'm on the jury and they prayed me out, okay, well, now what is I'm supposed to, what happened? Because it was all positive.
Well, not necessarily. It wasn't all positive because they were trying to keep the roadside event with him and his cousin Eddie. They were trying to keep that out of the trial. And because of their questioning, the way they questioned the witness. Now, remember, this witness was the state witness, and she basically believes that Alex had something to do with it. She said it without saying it because she was talking about, we thought that they were coming after. We thought that they were trying to take him out too, until more information came to us in September, and our thoughts changed because they were unaware that he was stealing money from his law firm. He was doing all these things. The only thing that they knew at the time is that he had, this prescription drug problem.
Exactly. But the thing about it was when his attorneys, Alex's attorneys, the defense said what happened or questioned what happened in September, then that opened the door. I mean, that Pandora's box come open. Toothpaste come out of the bottle and you can't put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where watching his attorneys, the defense, I feel like that they are absolutely causing. I don't think they're representing him in a manner that I feel like a man at that should be able to have.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because they dig around like they have no idea what's going on half the time, and they prosecution just beating their eyes in. I mean, as far as that goes, but everything. I mean, from the guy that took care of the kennels to his sister-in-law, all those that I got to hear, they were really positive toward the family, how close they were, how much he loved her, and all these things. And trying to open up something 15 years ago, everybody's had their problems, as pointed out. But I think keep dragging the horse around the stall when I think you're asking for problems.
I agree.
But I'll get out of here and let this other. You need to take a deep breath on that. We all. I mean, really, people that know that are following you right now.
Yeah.
That are behind you right now. We know what that stuff is. So don't.
I mean, know.
Get out of it.
Listen,
leave it
Brian,
alone.
I love Brian though. Every time I'm out and I see him, he's always got the biggest smile and waves at me and says hi and everything. It's like I have such high respect. And then I saw that clip this morning when I was doing some research, and I'm like, he's got this face on him like he's not even buying it.
But you got a trial going on right now that you're following that you can really give some insight to, and an update with, and drink your coffee and leave that negativity to somebody else. Just take the broom, sweep it out, and move on.
There you go. And I got to tell you, the audience loves you. The whole time you were talking, they were putting turkeys in the in emojis in the chat. So the audience.
Okay, I'm gonna do this just for you. Have a good.
You too, Turkey Man. God bless. God bless. Oh, what a joy he is when we get him on the phone. I tell you what, I enjoy speaking to Turkey Man. He always brightens my day. And look, I have been complaining about Ashleigh Banfield. He's absolutely right. Maybe we should get down to the facts of the case. The facts of the case is Dylan Mortensen saw and heard a lot of things going on in that house. The description that was provided in the probable cause affidavit did not allege a party, did not allege a whole bunch of noise. Actually, alleged much different. I mean, we hear that everybody was in their bed or asleep by 4 a.m. That was what was stated by the witnesses inside the home. So again, not information that is. You guys are still putting turkeys. God bless you guys. We do love the Turkey Man. We love everybody over here. So at the end of the day, and then let's segue over. I mean, he did segue over to Alex Murdaugh. many of you guys aren't watching the Alex Murdaugh trial, or you're just getting updates on the Alex Murdaugh trial. And yesterday, to me, now I respect Turkey Man's opinion, but I don't agree with 100% of it. I really don't think, yes, some of the things that she said, let me grab this and we'll get back to Alex. This is Betty. You're going to have to turn me down in your background, but this is Betty. Who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, this is Danielle K from Minnesota.
Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, and this is kind of maybe not right on topic, but I feel like it could, it could apply to the Alex Murdaugh whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially because you have a legal background. So I have a question. When a person, generally speaking, passes away and they have assets, and they owe, like, let's say they owe, like, they have a loan or a car loan or anything that's remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be like it would be in the best interest for the, like, the next of kin to present a death certificate, right? Not to get sued, not to let that get to that point.
So the way that death of a person, are you talking about somebody that, so how what happens when a person dies is life insurance and annuities and things are legal documents, and those move over to the beneficiaries almost immediately. But everything else, say like houses, bills, claims, that goes into what is known as an estate. And so creditors and other people can make a claim to that estate. And so those claims might be, maybe there was a personal loan, or in the case of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, he killed her. And so the family has made a claim to Brian Laundrie's estate for proceeds from that, from what he did. So, things do pass right over to beneficiaries and heirs if it's a legal thing, like an annuity, life insurance, some other retirement accounts that have beneficiaries. Those are moved directly over to those beneficiaries, and those are pretty much shielded in part from the estate of the individual. But everything else, like homes, cars, boats, RVs, those all have to come to an estate, and taxes have to be paid on that estate.
Right.
And people,
or like an outstanding credit card bill, like that was like before the person passed away, not a good thing.
They can't make a claim, but see, if they don't make a claim in a certain amount of time, then it's not considered. That they can't go to somebody else and force them to pay somebody else's credit card.
Right. They would just take it from the estate.
The estate, and that's if they make the claim in the lawful amount of time to make that claim.
Makes sense. I know your time's valuable, all of ours is, but I just want to finish this up with, I think we also should be focusing too on elder abuse as much as child abuse.
Yeah, and there's a lot of elder abuse out there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I absolutely do. We've done a lot of changes here in our county. It's not that I don't focus on it. I mean, we could start bringing some of that stuff up in the channel, but here in the county, I work on all that behind the scenes here for my county. But granted, it's only for my county. I don't work too far outside of my county on those things. But if you have a case of elder abuse that needs to be looked into, I'm happy to look into it and broadcast it.
Yeah, I will. I'm sure one of your mods can drop your email, and I will email you. And I'm a registered nurse. I also just am passionate about this because of what's happened. I've seen happen to family of mine. So I would love, that's something that I want to get back on. But
yeah, we close. I can tell you that we're like, at least in my county, we are really on it. We've closed multiple facilities down for elder abuse and not having enough staff to take care of the amount of patients they've had. We've in our county have forced certain assisted living facilities to release their clients to other facilities that can handle it. So, I mean, it's not that it's just something that I have not really brought up on the channel, but you're right. I mean, if there's crime and injustice, that is really what this channel is truly about.
Right. Well, and it doesn't. But it's not the. It's not the headline thing. Which I'm not saying that. I can see that you have you're an activist. I mean, that's how you started out, from what I know you from.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of But it's terrible all the way around. The elders, the children, but especially children didn't even have a chance. But it's terrible all the way around.
Yeah, it is.
I wanted to bring it up.
And not only that, but it's still trusting your loved one with someone, even when parents are doing wrong, they're still trusting the system to take care of their children. And when you're an adult and your parent has to go into a facility, you're trusting those people with your loved one.
Or DHS or whatever you want to call it, DFACS, and what depending on what state you're in or county. And usually they drop the ball. They take the shortcut.
Yeah. And it's becoming so widespread. And I know what the problem is. I know that there are a lot of things that can fix it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to financial means. Our government, unfortunately, is not properly funding these organizations under them. And it's causing a problem because at the end of the day, we have to realize these social workers go through a lot. They are being battered all over the place. And it's just not.
But what's really terrible, sorry to interrupt you, but what's terrible is what they'll do. I've seen them do is they'll go after, if there is even though they maybe not even be conscious of it, like in the forefront of their mind, but they will go after one person in the family has a professional license or someone has their crap together. They're going to go after that and almost blackmail them.
Yeah.
And then,
and that's why I think we need to be, because like I was speaking, I had an opportunity I'll be honest with you, I had an opportunity to speak with Sean Spicer. And I told him, right now the family courts is not, in my opinion, is not a due process. You got one judge overseeing this family. When you're removing a child, if you're removing a child permanently, those parents should be charged with a crime. They should
and all they have to do
true
is
due
get
process.
enough people, a handful of people, all in accordance with each other. You get one narcissist in there, like a or I won't say, or like a good person with a good mouthpiece, persuasive.
Right.
And then they can be very convincing. Or it's just fact is, if it's one person that shows up, and it may be one person that's legitimate completely with a full, they could be even an attorney, or whatever. But it's like you got one against an army, and I'm sure you've seen that happen.
Yeah. But my biggest thing is that, I'm trying to find ways to hold the alphabet soup of these Department of Family and Children's Services accountable. Like, if you can't just like, the family court is overseen by one judge. You don't have a jury of your peers. And if you're removing a child permanently from a home,
there's no regulation, no accountability. I want to see some statistics.
Yeah, some statistics. And not only that, but think about it. If you gave birth to a child, some judge, one singular person, is allowed to take your child permanently from you with no jury, no trial, no nothing. You're pleading your case to one judge. However, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and there's just no accountability. It's different. It's willy-nilly. It's whoever, and if you even hire, and I'm speaking from with minor children, but I can only imagine they're clearly vulnerable population if they're losing their children or whatever the case may be, So it's just so unfair, and they get to do whatever they want. They're very manipulative.
If they were forced to take them to court, if they were forced to charge them with a crime, they should be. Those parents would now truly have due process, because if the courts found them not guilty, now they can go back to the family court and say, give me my kids back.
Yeah, they're doing them the parents like that a disservice.
Absolutely.
And the children more so.
Yes.
They're depriving the children. At least if you're going to say these aren't, like a Band-Aid, if you're going to deprive them of their parents, don't do it slow and painful. It's really messed up, in my opinion.
It is. And quite frankly,
and I want to see some statistics.
If I was in the family law court and I had one judge to oversee me, I would be screaming bloody murder, saying this is not due process. This is not due process. One person, I want a jury trial to tell me I can't have my darn kids back.
Right, right.
You know, I want,
Well,
I
I don't
want
want to take up
12 people of my peers to tell me I'm a horrible person and I can't have my kids back. Not one person.
Yeah, or a public, or at least, yeah, something where nobody knows what is even going on, and that's why it's okay. I hate to say it, but it's a shit show nationwide.
It is.
It's a joke.
I agree with you.
Even with children, and that's the sad thing. And they're our future.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
and they have, and I can tell you, for me personally, the stuff that happened in my childhood affected me in my adulthood horribly, negatively. It was, you know, looking back, I'm surprised I'm not dead. I'm surprised I'm not in a box. And it was because of the childhood trauma I suffered as a kid. And so these kids are suffering as kids. And what are they going to end up doing unless a good seed is planted? Because what made me change wasn't a seed that was planted in my 30s. It was a seed that was planted by a teacher when I was 15 years old. It just didn't start sprouting until I was a little older. But it was a seed planted way back then.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's one positive role model. And like for me, it was my father. And you know, he's aged now, and the system's now done him wrong as on the other end of it. And I'm like, it's terrifying for me. I am not married. I don't have children. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, that I know, like, I know one's going to be looking out for me. I see what happens on the other side of it, you know?
Yeah. I don't have children either, but if I did, and I had a deal with the Department of Children and Family Services here in Florida, and they removed my child, I'm sorry, I'd be screaming bloody murder. I want due process. Give me my child back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that should just, I feel like that should be top priority, even though it's not a quote unquote criminal. That's our future.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I did something unlawful to have my child taken away from me, you better send me to court for what I did, the crime that I committed to have my child taken away.
But there's no regulation. No, we don't even know we can't even benchmark because there's no numbers.
And they're hiding behind privacy. You label all those children with a special number. But I want to know what's going on in these cases. Give me the cases for the last 30 days. You know, they won't do it because they claim privacy. There is no transparency, and yet there's all these kids disappearing in the system. I want to know where they are, and I want somebody to be held accountable for that.
Right. I will definitely email you because I feel like we could totally have a deeper discussion. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and it's bullhornbetty@gmail.com.
Okay, I will email you.
All right, hon. Take care. God bless.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make is we're afforded due process in this country. And I'm sorry, if you're going to take a child away from somebody permanently, there better be a charge, and they better be held accountable by a jury of their peers, not by one single judge making a decision. Because you know that one judge could wake up on a bad side of the bed and make a horrible decision. That's the purpose of due process. That's the purpose of us being afforded a jury. And when you take it to the family courts, you're no longer afforded a jury. It's a judge. I don't like it. Now, if they have to go, and I hope that whoever is in the system start demanding a jury trial, start demanding people to come in and you'll be hit with roadblocks. What do you think happened to Summer Wells? I honestly, I think a terrible accident happened that her parents covered up. That's what I think happened. I think whatever happened, it happened under Candace's watch. I think she's got a lot of explaining to do. And I think Dawn refuses to believe it or had a hand in it. Not in the actual thing. I don't think she was, I don't think that it's a Leilani Simon situation. I truly don't believe it's a Leilani Simon situation. I believe that an accident happened, whether she had tick on water when she was at the water hole, or she was left in that hot car or the hot truck and all in that sweatsuit. I don't know what, but I believe that Candace freaked out. I believe that she knew something was wrong. I believe that's what her first driving like a bat out of hell off the driveway was all about. So that's just I have not found anything to dispute that. I've got a lot of interviews from a lot of people in and around. I've been trying to get Don to interview with me. He was further gagged by the family court. We know he's been trying to find money to get another attorney. But again, this is a situation. Now, mind you guys, this is the problem I have. And this is what made me think about they need to start charging these people because, first of all, there is not due process in family court, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I just don't believe there's due process. Or juvenile court or whatever it may be. This is a situation where Candace has had 2 children permanently removed from her with a prior relationship. Don Wells has had 2 children removed from him in a prior relationship. Don and Candace both have had 3 boys removed from their custody and are fighting to get those 3 boys back, which will most likely be removed permanently. Would you know that Candace nor Don, out of all these children, now 7 in total, 1 is missing, have never been charged one time with a crime against a child, and they've had 7 children removed from their custody. To me, they should be like any other person in this country, and they should be afforded due process. If you have enough evidence to remove a child permanently from a home, you should charge those parents with it. I don't think anybody or any child should ever be removed from their biological parents. If the biological parents are committing crimes, negligence, endangerment, child abuse, SA, they should be charged with that. Why are we not charging people that are doing horrible things to children? Why? That's what I want to know. 7 children, not one charge of child abuse, child neglect, child endangerment, but 7 children have become the responsibility of our government, and not one charge has been levied upon these parents. Not one charge. That's a problem for me. That should be a problem for everybody out there, whether you have children or not. Mama of 4, God bless you. Momo of 4, Mom of 4, there we go. Sorry. I've adopted 4 kids through social services from the same mom, all due to drugs and neglect. Mom was never charged. That to me is a problem. I'm not saying these children shouldn't be removed from the home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying one judge presiding over a court is not due process. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying further that if you are permanently removing a child, obviously a crime has been committed for you to have the authority to remove that child from that home. Why are they not being charged? We have had to feed 7 children on our taxpayer dime between Candace and Don Wells, and not one charge against them. Out of all the 7 children, our government has had to take in, clothe, feed, and raise. That's not due process. Due process is charging those parents. Because if you've got enough, again, I'll say it, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. If you've got enough to remove a child from a home permanently, obviously a crime was committed. And if a crime was committed, they have due process for that crime. Because guess what? If a judge makes a terrible mistake and takes a child unlawfully, if that person was charged, they can go to a court, be acquitted of all charges, and go back to that family court and demand their children back. but they are removing that option from the family. They are unfairly being prejudicial to the family they're taking the children away from. This can no longer be the status quo when it comes to our children. If you have enough to remove those children from the home, those parents, by God, better be charged with a crime, because you should not have any authority to remove a child from that house unless there are handcuffs on the parents. Period. You are damn right, and that is the problem. Per head. I know this for a fact. I deal with my government here. I know when the Department of Children and Family Services for our district comes in and asks for our county money, they're saying the same exact thing. We're not getting paid enough as opposed to Tampa per head per child. We're losing money. Things have got to change. When it becomes a profit to remove children from a home, I have a problem with it. When it comes to getting money for an organization because you've got to have so many heads of children to make your ends meet, to keep your lights on, I've got a problem with that. I've got a big problem with that. And that statement right there from Dahlia is absolutely Denali. Hopefully I said it right. That is a true statement right here. This is sickening to me. Again, transparency, accountability would solve this problem. I would like the Department of Children, Family Services to go away in its entirety. I would like to know that every parent that has a child is taking care of their child and doing right by their child. But that's not the case. Again, I don't believe that social workers should be investigating criminal investigations. That is for the police department. It should be the police that refer families over to the Children of Family Services, not the other way around. We have got it backwards in this country. But I'm done with that. Fired up. Ashleigh Banfield's a liar. Stephen Helling, liar. Alec Murdaugh case. It's going through. Lots of stuff has come out. It's not painting a good picture of Alec Murdaugh. Defense is challenging everything because they believe it's prejudicial to their client. Yeah. Evidence is prejudicial to somebody that's guilty. No matter how you turn it, right? They're trying to keep everything prejudicial. They want them to say, oh, he was holding the gun. Here's the photo. They can't prove that. The defense doesn't want to hear it. Well, sorry. So, Summer Moon Wells, missing since June 15th. Thank you so much. 7 years of age, she would be. So hard. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She probably wouldn't even look the same right now. I mean, she'd still have the same nose and same eyes, but she'd be much older. Probably have her hair grow back by now. Just sad. Just sad. Anybody with any information about the whereabouts of Summer Wells or have any information about the whereabouts of her parents on June 15th, 2021, please reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND. So guys, I know we're getting to the top of the 2 hours. I just want to tell each and every one of you, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my tirade. Thank you, Turkey Man, for refocusing the group. And thank you for all that participated in the phone calls and getting your perspective heard. Great points some callers made, primarily that, we do need to be focusing on the abuse of our elderly. And again, we need to be holding these people accountable. But right now I am on, a campaign for change in our child welfare system. And the reason why I call it our child welfare system is because it's an alphabet soup out there. They don't have even the same name from state to state. It should be. And all these computers from state to state need to be interconnected. And they need to be passing around information. And not only that, they need to be hooked up to our driver's license offices so we can track the parents that want to do state jumping to avoid having their children taken away from them. But if they do have their children taken away from them, there better be a charge. There better be true due process for that family. And I don't feel like they're getting it from the courts that they're in right now. Anyways, I would like to hear anybody that's on the replay crew. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys did not receive a notification this morning that I was coming up, please consider unsubscribing and resubscribing to re-trigger those notifications. Put your bell to all, because we put out a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's in community posts. Sometimes it's just a video. Sometimes it's a live. But I can tell you that anything I post typically is very, very, very important. So you're going to want to get notified on it. For everybody else, I just want to tell you, God bless. Have an amazing hump day as we slide into the week. God bless each and every one of you. And please, guys, don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We will be starting the live for the Alex Murdaugh trial right after this to start at 9:30. Come over here. We watch it. We discuss it. We have fun. You know, it's a lot of great information. It gives you a behind the scenes look at the trial process, when the jury has to leave, when the jury comes in, what they're allowed to ask, how they limit the scope on, you know, the prosecution diving into certain questions with the witness. It's really a fascinating process that takes place when these cases go to trial. And if nothing more, it's definitely an education in the hearings. So if you haven't watched one, consider coming over here and watching for a couple hours today, just to get an insight on how the court process works. This is after the suspect is arrested and they're presumed innocent until being proved guilty. This is where it happens. This is where they are proved either innocent or guilt. It's in the jury trial. And this is one of the most fascinating cases I've had an opportunity to personally witness and be a part of. And I hope you guys can too. Very interesting case. So with that, guys, God bless each and every one of you. And until next time, at least until tomorrow, right? Until tomorrow, y'all be safe. And don't forget, we're still trying to honor everything that Dolly Vision has been going through. And the only way that each of us can honor him is doing a perfect act of kindness for a perfect stranger. And, you know, say a prayer for Dolly. Keep him in your thoughts and your prayers as he's struggling through the loss of his brother, the loss of his best friend, and just other things that are just he shouldn't be going through. So God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, again, please be safe.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.